Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This podcast, broadcast from Britain, is brought to you in conjunction with Kodiak Hub, the world's bestest SRM provider from Scandinavia.
Kodiak Hub presents the world's best procurement podcast. Procurement says no.
Right.
Welcome to Procurement Says No, episode 43. Ooh.
The remarkable thing is, both of us are still alive.
Yes.
You ever think we would make it to 43?
No.
Did you think maybe one of us would have passed away by now?
We're practically middle-aged now. And we are sponsored by the power of Kodiak Hub.
Hey!
Is that a yogurt or an internet cafe for brown bears?
Ooh. Or is it a leading-edge piece of SRM software?
Oh, I think it is.
Yes.
I think it is. We are on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Facebook, X, formerly known as Twitter, all the other way around. We're now back on YouTube, and we're on TikTok, which we said we'd never do.
Minty freshness with TikTok.
TikTok with Tic Tacs for minty freshness. You can also buy a t-shirt from us on eBay or get in touch with lovely Ed.
Let me just tell you, let me interrupt at this point. eBay, our t-shirts are very cheap at £20 pop. I've just sold a football shirt that I was given by a supplier in 1989 by Philips, who was sponsoring PSV Eindhoven. I've just sold it on eBay for £260. Awesome. I'm now selling all of our stuff.
And we've got a website, and we do a blog, which is on the website. And we've just done some blogs for Kodiak Hub, which will be on the website soon.
Yes.
So please, can you like the linked up posts and like and comment and leave a review wherever you get your podcasts. And remember, we're also guns for hire at £200 and 50p for an hour of expert advice and opinion.
That's 50p for Rich and £200 for me.
Yeah. And today we have news, exciting news. In fact, we're going to go straight to the news, brought to you, sort of, by CIPS. Over to Ben.
Hello, I'm Ben Farrell from CIPS, and here's the news.
Right. So not only is the news brought to you by CIPS, but now the whole darn podcast and associated gubbins is brought to you by Kodiak Hub. They've sponsored us on a £3 million deal over 2 years. Is that right, Ed?
No, that's just for the tax man, the 3 million. It's a little bit more nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Know what I mean?
What is Kodiak Hub then?
Well, we're going to talk about Kodiak Hub in the future, but they are a leading SRM SaaS software provider, and we really like them. Our next episode, we're going to have Sam Jenks on from Kodiak Hub, so we'll talk about that in more detail then.
And we're very excited about it, aren't we? Very.
We are. Great. And our first sponsor.
And what about us, Ed? Tell us about how well Procurement Says No is doing.
So you talked earlier about how we're on all these different platforms. So I just thought I'd just pick up some numbers. So our podcast is now, I'm quite gobsmacked, really. If you look at the podcast piece, albeit we haven't been going through nearly 3 years, we're around about 65,000 downloads.
Woo!
It's almost like we're famous. In fact, you're famous because you were talking to somebody the other day and they said that they recognised by your voice.
Yeah, somebody called me about a procurement thing and he said, "Can I just stop you there? Do you do that podcast?" And I went, "I do."
It's unbelievable, isn't it? And then YouTube, we've hit about 5,000 impressions in the last couple of months. So it's a little bizarre for such a niche topic. And then on TikTok, I think we're heading towards 10,000. So we've got about 8,000 impressions, whatever an impression is.
Yeah. That's the power of Tic Tacs.
And then the other one is I can't really count up the total number of countries very easily that we've been downloaded in, but I think we're around about 80 or 90. And what stood out recently, and I've no idea where this is, Curacao? Curacao. I think it's in the Caribbean.
It's a liqueur, isn't it?
I thought it was, yes. But anyway, we've been downloaded there and in Trinidad and Tobago, Azerbaijan, Angola, Sudan, Bulgaria, Lithuania, Bahrain. That's a new one. Bulgaria and Hungary. That's probably because there's been a change of leader in Hungary and we're allowed in
Yeah, Victor didn't like us much, did he?
No, Mr. Orban, he didn't like us. So it's quite exciting, really.
It
Things
is.
that still don't get recognised in the street or get to the front of the queue in the local restaurant.
Oh, I do all the time. It's terrible.
So what I do is I tell people not to look at me. Like actors and actresses, when I'm getting near a podcast and I'm in the zone, Rich, I think I just say to the family, don't look at me.
It's like Al Pacino.
Okay, right. And just one thing, because Kodiak Hub are sponsoring us, leading SaaS SRM software provider, we're going to sponsor our local cricket team called Whitmore Cricket Club, located locally in Newcastle-under-Lyme. Apparently online it says it is a vibrant community club renowned for a strong junior academy, successful women's and girls teams, including national finalists. And they had a female player, who plays for England.
Ooh.
And this is the bit that I liked, and this is why we're sponsoring them, Rich, with a banner at the side of the pitch, is because they host one of the largest beer gardens in the county.
Yay.
Which I suspect is just the pitch.
Yes.
Apparently they drink while they're playing.
Sounds perfect.
Yes, it adds a bit to the game.
I'm up for sponsoring them. Right. I have got some other news. This is from our favourite local government lawyer. Very exciting news, this one, Ed. The challenge to the most financially significant procurement process in UK history fails in the High Court. This is from Adam Carey. The High Court has dismissed a judicial review challenge which sought damages in excess of £1 billion over the Gambling Commission's award of the fourth UK national lottery licence. In the new Lottery Company Limited and another v. the Gambling Commission, Mrs. Justice Joanna Smith rejected both claims brought by the new Lottery Company Limited and Northern and Shell plc, finding that they had failed to make out any case or manifest error on the part of the Commission. She also found the claimants had failed to prove the Commission had breached its concession contracts regulations 2016. And then it waffles on. The claimants made two claims against the Commission. The first one challenged the fairness and integrity of the competition process and its outcome. And the second claim challenged modifications made by the agreement between the Commission and the winning bid, which they said resulted in the contract being significantly different to the one that was bid. Ooh. They claim that these substantial amendments within the meaning of Regulation 43 of the CCR 2016 and or that they were foreseeable in a reasonably diligent authority such that new competition should have been... Oh, shut up.
Such that? Who says such that in normal conversation? Such that.
Such that.
Such that I would be going to the kitchen, such that to make a cup of coffee.
Blah, 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 blah. It's unbelievable, isn't it? Anyway... The judge found that claimants had failed to establish that the Commission acted in breach of Regulation 43 CCR 2016. Blah, 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 blah.
So this is interesting for our overseas listeners, particularly those in the US, which is very litigious, as we know. That is really unusual to see somebody go to court to make a vexatious claim for £1 billion in lost profits.
No.
It just generally doesn't happen here, does it? People walk away.
Such ridiculously large numbers
Yeah.
don't normally appear in British courts, do they?
Never. And I think in all of my procurement career, I've never been to court.
No.
Generally, the parties walk away, don't they? Though in the public sector, we know it's different. You can make the process be run again, but you are very unusual to actually claim damages for loss of the contract or loss of award. So, yeah, very weird, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, weird.
Yeah.
More news?
Yeah, I wanted to pick up on a book I've been reading.
Ooh.
So occasionally, listeners, we get sent stuff, books that people have written. And Rich hasn't read this book, but guy that I've worked, I'll just say, caveat this, is somebody I've worked with, Mark Sherwood-Edwards. He's very active on LinkedIn, and he's a barista for hire, because we've had him on the show.
Yes.
And he's written a book called The Sales Side Lawyer, which is a distillation, really, of all of his posts on LinkedIn about the way in which contracts destroy value for salespeople, destroy revenue. And I tell you, it's really well worth a read. And I'd say for procurement people, purchasing people as well, because it gives you a bit of an indication of sort of subliminally on how sales operations work, how they're hindered by the lawyers, and how the lawyers at the other end often destroy revenue for the salesperson and delay matters. And it's really useful for you when you're thinking about the way in which you negotiate with sales people, particularly when you're buying something like a SaaS contract or where you've got something very complicated you're buying. But it's really well written. And I've got to say, Mark's a really sensible lawyer and makes some really valuable points. But I've got to say, I'm really impressed. And to the extent I've even written a review on Amazon for him, even though I got the book for free.
And he grinds a great roast too.
He does. I think he likes a Colombian dark bean.
Everybody likes some supplies from Colombia.
Yes.
We have news from CIPS, from Ben.
Ooh.
CIPS has formally signed a memorandum of understanding with Sardar Bent Singh State University in the Punjab, marking a significant step in strengthening procurement and supply chain education within India's higher education ecosystem. The partnership aims to embed global procurement and supply chain standards into academic programs, supporting the development of future-ready professionals in a region with strong potential for industrial growth and skills advancement. There you go. Well done to CIPS, sorting stuff out in India.
Super.
Ben wasn't actually on the photographs, I don't think, so he must have missed his flight.
Perhaps he's just got too many air miles. Massive growth opportunity, I suspect, for CIPS, isn't it? And long overdue that CIPS have really sought to get a foothold over there. I mean, the number of graduates, masters, graduates, all that sort of stuff is phenomenal. And suddenly I've been to India a few times. That the young managers out there are so keen to get on, aren't they? So I think that's a great step. Super. Let's see, what have I got? So I ran a bit of, used a bit of AI actually, Rich, to find out what's going on in April 26.
Oh, and you've got some vague high-level stuff which may or may not be true.
And it's just a load of nonsense, really. So as of April 26, UK procurement is dominated by the implementation of the Procurement Act 2023.
Yes, only in the public sector, though.
Yeah, so lots of stuff about procurement reform, legal and compliance challenges, the High Court case you've just talked about with regard to the lottery as we know it. Well, it does mention AI and automation surge. Generative AI is transforming procurement, transactional to strategic, with AI orchestration tools.
Oh, God, here we go. Bloody AI orchestration now. God.
Like Oreo labs addressing chaos in procurement, and companies like Seekwater implementing AI-guided procurement. Right, listeners, contact me through LinkedIn, Ed Cross, or at Adesma, edward.cross@adesma.uk, and give me an example where you're using this stuff, because I'm not seeing it.
For strategic AI orchestration, yeah, right, whatever.
Lots of little small cases, and I suspect in the US a bit more use than the rest of the world. But really, where is it?
It's addressing chaos in procurement, matey boy. That's what it's doing.
But I was reading some articles in the national press in the last month or so, and it's saying there's a massive skills gap in understanding the application of AI amongst middle managers and senior managers in the UK. And I suspect that's the same elsewhere across the continent, across North America and the world. I just don't see it happening. And I'm working with some procurement clients, and I don't see any application of AI.
Yeah, it's all just minor bits and bobs, isn't it? And remember, kids, if you're using AI, do remember that probably every times I've used it, maybe 1 in 5 times of using it, it's wrong.
Yeah. The only time I use it is market intelligence, because we've got loads of AI tools that we can personally use. So that's there and being used quite extensively. I talk to people in procurement and they're writing some of their tender letters in response to suppliers, doing their market analysis with likes of ChatGPT and others. But I'm just not seeing it. I'm not seeing the investment. And again, if I was reading about Rishi Sunak article, and he was saying that, where everybody's falling short is investing in AI. Anyway, just on a serious note, so I'll jump off that. But in Europe, so this is sort of following on from the UK Procurement Act. The European Commission is apparently planning a new Public Procurement Act for 26, focusing on simplifying the 2014 directives, which were found to lack flexibility. No shit, Sherlock.
Well, that would be really interesting to see what they do with it, because the UK took, 8 years to 7 years to redevelop the Procurement Act from the EU regs to create the Procurement Act 2023, and they've made it just as bad. So it'll be interesting to see if the EU actually do end up making it slightly better or more flexible.
The only thing I wonder, Rich, is that we talked about this with defence procurement a few episodes ago, and whether they're suspending the procurement rules for some defence procurement in Germany, for example, biggest spender on defence in Europe now, and whether there'll be a little bit more flexibility that will help improve things, perhaps, and allow a little bit more of private sector practice of normal tendering, no challenge. I'll pick the supplier that I want to use, etc. I'll collaborate with them in the product or service I buy, but don't know.
Alternatively, they'll end up with another aircraft on ground company that will be buying all their parts from Temu. It's only £23 for an engine for a 747. Wow, it's got to be worth it. Oh, hang on a minute. I get a 25% bonus as well.
He did go to prison, folks, for that.
Oh.
He'll be out now, though.
Any more news?
Yeah. I found this quite funny. So I saw this report from Proxima. Okay, so Proxima are a procurement consultant who've been around for 20 years, bought by Accenture a few years ago, I recall. Basically, they said that the three themes for them in 2026 were reframing resilience, AI answers, and clean your data.
Ooh, they sound exciting.
Poop. So, reframing resilience, this is from their report. The signs are already clear that 26 will see a continuation of the US-led geopolitical disruption of last year. At the same time, other supply chain disruption resulting from extreme weather events and rising prices.
Extreme weather events?
Yes, it's sunny now, Rich. It's only April and it's 57 degrees centigrade here in the UK now. Come on, get on the climate bandwagon.
The world is boiling. Oh, that's a book that you should read, actually. If you're interested in all the climate change stuff.
Rich doesn't believe in climate change. I do.
Climate change is a fact. The climate changes all the time. The climate has been changing for hundreds of millions of years. But there's a good book that I read actually about it, which is by Stephen Coonan, who was the science advisor to the Obama administration, apparently. Unsettled, What Climate Science Tells Us, What It Doesn't, and Why It Matters. It's quite a good book. It's quite balanced, which is good. Because normally you get these crazy, mad books that are either one thing or, they're either madly everyone's going to die or they're going to be complete climate denial. But this is somewhere in the middle. So it's actually quite good. And it just presents lots of facts and lots of data and lots of graphs. So it's quite good.
Welcome to the book club, listeners.
Yes.
We've never talked about books before in an episode. Now we're on episode 43 and we've done 2 books. We've taken our average up to 1 book review every 21 and a half episodes. Anyway, going back to Proxima. So...
Yes. Sorry about that brief interlude.
After they're likely to ramp up, blah, 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 they quote Stefan Grunwald, the CPO with Henry Sheen, I don't know who they are, told Proxima's study, in my experience, risk mitigation, the roots of resilience, is a core priority, and the exec is prepared to accept that there is a premium to be paid for building a new strategic capability. Continuity of supply is not a burden, it's a competitive advantage.
What? He makes a good point there, doesn't it? If you've got goods to sell and you've got them in stock, that's an advantage to someone who hasn't. Brilliant.
So that's the first one, reframe. That's just risk management, right? So AI answers. CEPOs, speaking to Proxima, insisted that AI is the answer, but 2026 sees an important moment where they must define what was the question. What was the question, Rich? To see returns on hefty AI investment in 26, it finally needs to be integrated across the whole procurement process. Blah, 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 blah. Nina Bomberg, CPO at Hamburger Energiewerk. I think these are a bit made up.
This is made up.
Yeah, I know. I think it's made up. But they believe this could transform how procurement is viewed. Anyway, Nina, just by the way, don't sue us. She believes this could transfer how procurement is viewed in the company for the better, arguing, I believe that people often bypass procurement due to friction. If AI can remove that friction and save everybody in the company just 10 minutes a day when they are trying to buy something, they will be forever grateful. You go to the Exco and say, if I implement this £6 million system, I'm going to save across our 500 staff 10 minutes a day. They will laugh you out of court And by the time you get back to your desk, all of your belongings will be put in a box. You'll be marched across the car park.
Yes. I wonder if you get a free hamburger when you're made redundant by Hamburger Energy Work.
Do they burn hamburgers to create power?
That's possibly what it is. It's char grilled.
And then finally was clean your data. A famous idiom in data analytics is garbage in, garbage out.
Oh, I've never heard that before.
Oh, I've never heard that. Is that a new phrase, Rich?
I think it is.
Even with the supposedly revolutionary capabilities of AI, this rule of thumb still applies.
Well, of course it does.
I mean, anyway, and it just goes on, is how expensive the Gen AI you are expecting to help propel your company's productivity to new heights. If you feed it bad data, it's only going to be able to generate substandard results, blah, blah, blah. Right, tell you what, listeners, very interesting, but we don't think that people are particularly adapting AI, particularly in procurement. In other functions, yes, but there's still a big gap in understanding. The three themes for 2026 are the same themes we've already had. Risk mitigation, because the world is a funny place and lots of weird and mad things are going on and continue to do so. Third-party cost reduction, i.e. get better value from the suppliers that you have got because we're in an inflationary market, and the cost of running procurement, i.e. all those systems, all those people. The consequence of procurement is AP not working properly, invoices, admin. So really the three themes for 26 are the same. Reduce the cost of what you buy, decrease the cost of procurement itself, doing procurement. And then the third one is manage risk better.
It's brilliant. That's mind-numbingly brilliant. Never heard that before. So well done to Proxima.
Yes. So anyway, it's a very strange article, if I'm honest. Proxima are a big organisation, part of Accenture now. It's probably been run through their PR department.
Yeah.
They just try to tie it up in much more fancy language to make it interesting. I don't know.
It's all same old, same old. I've got one last piece of news. Then this whole episode will have just been news, so that's good. Get your news here.
That's because we're influencers.
More CIPS news. It's great when it's some CIPS because Ben did tell us that the only reason that CIPS now puts news on its website again is because of us. Because we used to just shout about how there wasn't any news. CIPS have done one of their survey things, the CIPS Pulse survey, and it reveals lots of long-term and short-term supply chain anxiety have surged to record highs. And 89% of procurement supply chain leaders cite supply chain risk as one of their big things. Global supply chains are entering a period of sustained and systemic disruption as geopolitical conflict and escalating trade instability drive sharp rises in costs. This has been going on for a couple of years now, at least, hasn't it? I mean, this has been going on for about 5 or 6 years, in fact, really. So it's COVID, and then Ukraine, and then Suez Canal, Palestine, now Iran. God.
I mean, it's all what we all know, don't we? Because we watch the news and stuff like that,
It's not like a series of shocks now. It's just like one continuous shock, isn't it? They're all merging into one.
Yeah, but you've got to ask the question is how many businesses have done something about it? We talked about risk registers in the past, didn't we? And thinking about mitigating actions and what you're doing to move your supply chain from being exposed to a particular region of the world, bring it closer, all that sort of stuff. Like, how many businesses really done that sort of stuff? Or have they just sort of muddled through and then just carried on and taken the inflationary hit?
We've updated our spreadsheet.
Oh, excellent.
It's called Spreadsheet Updated brackets April 26 now.
Oh, has it got embedded at the bottom 2019 or something on it?
No, I took that off following your advice.
And are you using a color coding system in that spreadsheet?
I am, yes. It's red for danger, dark red for heavy, heavy, heavy danger, blood red for this is quite dangerous, and scarlet for the world is on fire.
Excellent, yes.
It's 89% cite conflict in the Middle East, 67% point to broader geopolitical environmental stuff, 28% highlight specifically the war in Ukraine. And they also cite things about big price rises, obviously petrol, metal ores, mining products, big increases, shipping, logistics, big increases, chemical and chemical products, big increases, rubber and plastic, computers and electronics, fabricated metals, transport equipment, all hugely increasing in price. So if you're in procurement, you're going to be having a bad time again this year.
Yeah. I think they're underplaying it.
Some of it's going to be quadrupled in price or just not available.
I think it's food security.
Yeah, food security's coming, isn't it?
Yeah, so with the oil pricing, and oil is used to make fertilizer. I don't really. I'm not a chemist, so I've got no idea how that works. But part of what's going on in the Middle East, not just producing oil and gas and all that sort of stuff, they're also helping in the production of fertilizers, and it's going to push the cost of product up for Africa just as much as the UK, but we'll be more resilient to it. And so, what's going to happen in terms of food resources?
Yeah. Ben Farrell, CEO of CIPS, who's been on the show, says procurement and supply chain professionals are navigating an environment of relentless disruption. We're no longer dealing with isolated shocks, but a fundamental reshaping of global trade. I just said that. I said something similar. And Dr. John Glenn, who's also been on the podcast, global economist at CIPS, says the data points to a fundamental shift in the global economic environment. As a result, the spectre of 1970s stagflation, recession, and inflation is now becoming a reality. We're in a perfect storm of shit.
Yeah. Do you think there's going to be a recession, Rich?
I think there's going to be a recession. Global recession. All thanks to the orange man.
Yeah. He's done a good job, hasn't he?
Quality. And on that bombshell...
On that miserable bombshell...
It's time to say goodbye, because that's long enough for this episode. That's it for us. See you next time. Bye.
Thank you all.
Oh, and just one last thing to say. Next time, we'll be with our friends from Kodiak Hub. Sam Jenks will be on episode 44, so join us again. And we'll be sponsored again by Kodiak Hub, the internet cafe for brown bears.
Excellent. We sold our souls for SRM.
Next time on Procurement Says No.
Let's go for the panda bear. And then we'll go for a red panda bear. Then we'll go for a polar bear. After that, we'll go for a grizzly bear, a black bear, the American brown bear, let's see here, Gobi bear, a bear of the desert that many don't remember. That and then I think the last one would have to be the Kodiak bear.
I tell you what I didn't mention was the Kodiak Hub game that's been sent to me called Cards Against Procurement.
Oh, yes.
So we can talk about that maybe in a future episode. I forgot about it. But
yeah, we'll talk about that next time.
Yeah, I'll perhaps send you. When I've done this book, I'll send you these. And
I'm a bit disappointed he sent you. Did he send 2 packs?
Yeah, no, he sent me 1 pack and didn't. He said I'm not sending Rich one because he's a.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, I was surprised he was so honest, but he's Scandinavian, isn't he?
Yeah, fair enough. And it's true as well, isn't it? Like some of those other excellent podcasts. Oh, have you seen that one called A Procurement? I've never seen this one before. It's just called and they all follow the same format. Oh, we've got a random middle manager nonsense bloke from a company you've never heard of, blah blah blah, and we're going to interview him for an hour. In fact, it was an hour. I was thinking, geez. So why am I interested in somebody else's career? I don't understand. Why would I be? Why if it was Michael Caine? Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. What was interesting, right? The other day I got this bloke link in with me because you're probably the same. I'm getting loads of LinkedIn requests. I get this message from LinkedIn today saying you're one of the most LinkedIn persons in the world or something. Blah blah, because you're getting so many connection requests and all that, which is clearly off the back of the podcast. And this guy had gone to Staff's uni, so that was the connection. But he's like a young bloke, and he said, "I'd like to get your advice." So I wrote back to him and said, "What about what?" And basically, it was how to get on in life.
Why are you asking me?
Yeah, exactly. But I thought, I haven't responded yet, so, because I was thinking about what to say.
First of all, you need to charge £200 an hour.
Exactly.